Hi, everybody. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about gratitude and how it can literally help change everything, every aspect of your life. About 2 weeks ago, I was in a little bit of a funk. It feels like nothing's running right. What you want to happen, the opposite happens, and all that sort of stuff. And we all know, the more though that we think things will go wrong, things will go wrong. And the more that we think things will go right, things will go right. It's pretty much the law of attraction. And so what I decided to do, and I've done this many times, I always think to myself, like, when I want to supercharge changing myself, I start with gratitude. And a lot of places will tell you, just start with something small, like 10 things per day, 10 things that you're grateful for every day. And sometimes we think like, we still don't have time and all that sort of stuff. And we put that off a lot. The fact that we can get out of bed and stand or walk, that we've got toes, it makes such a huge difference because when you've hurt your foot or your hand or something like that, how tricky it feels to just live life. I'm sorry if you can hear the rain outside. It's a nice rainy day in Cape Town, and I love that. Yeah, so what I did was 2 weeks ago, I decided on the Monday that I want to super change and move my frequency, my energy, and my mood. And so I started setting my gratitude alarms. I set them on the hour, every hour from 7 o'clock till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that gives me 11 times. And every time my alarm goes off, I say 10 things that I'm grateful for. And you think to yourself, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run out of things. And you don't. Sometimes it becomes a little bit, you feel like you're saying the same thing over and over, but there's always something different. We would normally say, I'm grateful for the roof over my head, or the car, or the food, or the bed that I sleep in, or the clothes that I wear, that I can see, that I can hear, that I can smell, that I can touch. And we sort of exhaust those. But what about the eyelashes on your eye that keep the dirt out of your eye, or that little circle that holds that eyelash in place? The hairs in your nose that act as a filter. So many things that we have to be grateful for. And what happened is, like, I do this from Monday to Friday. You can obviously do it on Saturdays and Sundays, but it shifts your energy into, you become like a magnet. And it's almost like I've done this a few times in the past as well. And so, like, I know it from practical experience myself. And then what happened on, like, on start or days 6, 7, 8, you will actually just become more aware of, like, oh my gosh, this happened, and oh my gosh, this happened, and this flowed. And yeah, and I'll give you an example right at the end, but it really does change your mood. If you think to yourself, like, you have to get out of this, Monday moodiness or whatever the thing might be, it literally can change your mood. It does. Because sometimes we, like, how do we shift our energy? How do we shift our vibration? How do we change our moods? How do we feel better? And that's definitely one way, because it's pretty much the opposite of complaining. And the more things that you got to be grateful for, the more things you'll be given to be grateful for. So that's definitely, like, really, really, if you want to start manifesting stuff, that is like number one on the list, to start manifestation. Yeah. So do those things. I mean, whether you want to do it less per day, or more, that'll be great. But you will literally start noticing the differences in your life. So coming back to my example, well, not my example, my actual, what happened was, I had done that for a week. And then the Wednesday, the following week, I still thought to myself, I want to go out for dinner. And then I was like, okay, but I want to see if some place has got a Wednesday special, right? And then halfway through the day, my mom phoned me and she said, okay, well, my aunt and a few of us are going out for dinner. Do you guys want to come with? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she said they had a special. And I was like, oh, that is amazing. So I sat back and I was like, I just said this morning. And like 4 hours later, I didn't have to go look for a place. I didn't have to look for a special. My mom phoned me with this information. And then there was a few of us. We all went out. There was about 10 of us, family members. And then right at the end of it, my aunt decided to pay for all of us. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like it's just freaking amazing. And then, normally you would say, if somebody tries to pay for you, and I don't know if you guys are like this as well, but you were like, no, no, it's fine, we can pay and all that sort of stuff. But that literally stops that person's giving and receiving. And so now I was like, thank you very much. And sometimes, you can return the favor, or it's just their blessing for yourself, or something happened in their life and they wanted to bless somebody else. And so now I've found myself to be more receiving as well. And I don't know if you feel the same way. It's like you find it quite difficult to accept somebody blessing you or giving you a gift or something like that, because we feel like then we would owe that person, or we would have to do the same thing. But literally, it is helping that person on their giving and receiving path as well. Yeah. So if you really want to change your life, if you want to accelerate your manifestations, if you want to change your mood, and once again, change your life, then gratitude is an absolute must. And a lot of the times we would say, I will first see it. I need to first see it before I believe it. But you have to actually first believe it before you'll see it. It literally changes everything. Let me know in the comments how things for you have gone. And even if it's after a week and you come back and you've noticed the subtle changes in your mood or your attitude or how things go. I mean, life still happens. We're not always going to have ups without downs. It will never be that way. But it literally helps you in your flow state. So let me know in the comments how your gratitude is going.